I'm gonna try to describe one of the games that my doctor plays and why I'm gonna have to suffer and have all my organs shut down. So one of those games is for release forms. I've been trying to get some of my medical records that I have the doctor's names of. I have a pain doctor, I have a psych doctor, and I have a HKD doctor that all might have some paperwork that's helpful. So I sign releases with just their doctor's name. Now the doctors are retired and they're no longer in that office obviously. Oh God, I'm hurting. I'm having trouble speaking. Anyways, so the doctors play with the referrals and then they try to say that they don't have any records, so then they push things out or play games with the referrals. Like, for instance, when they do something wrong or make a mistake, then they say, we have every right to. Well, no, you do not have a right to discriminate and hurt your patients. If your patient needs a really good treatment, like a wheelchair, or if they need a do not work order and you withhold it for 6 months and your patient gets hurt, or if you're asking your patient to write after knowing that they have a disability that they can't write or you're not going to treat them, that's discrimination. You're telling somebody with a disability that they can't write that if they don't write, then you're not going to help them. So you'll help the next guy who can write and happens to be have a cane, but you're not helping me because I'm disabled. That is the definition of discrimination. I am not getting help because of my disabilities. And whenever they get caught doing this and I get hurt, then they try to just use like, oh, I didn't get a referral, or oh, Zach, we didn't see him, or we didn't. Oh, yeah, well, he should have called. Well, I called 14 times and you played games. I signed 16 referrals and you played games. I got 3 CT scans done and you played games. I try to make appointments with you and you play games till the point where I can no longer walk. My doctor is going to get me killed, just for the record. And all I need from her is some paperwork, and then I can go to a new primary care. I really, really need what's going on. I cannot walk. I cannot move. I cannot start with a new primary care with all these health problems. We need some documentation of what's going on with me. I can't walk. I'm pissing black. My kidneys don't seem to be working properly. My peas are 12 hours apart. My kidneys are swollen. My GI is swollen beyond belief, and this is the second round of this. It did heal up a little bit, but the GI stayed with lessened pain. When I stand up, it instantly throws me to the ground. I've had 25 years of shaking. When I try to write, talk at the same time, I can't. I have so much going on, and I need some of it on paper. Maybe not the stuff for 25 years because this new primary care isn't a neurologist and we need a lot more information on that one. But I mean, I can pee in front of you black and you don't even give me a piece of paper. I can't walk and I'm falling down all over the place and I don't get a piece of paper. I sign a referral and they don't get it. I go down to get a CT and you don't get it. I go down and do a second CT and I don't get it. I go down and do a third CT and then you play games. Now, 6 months later, I need more testing. And what did they do? Oh, they say that the TT isn't necessary. They say this stuff isn't necessary. Well, I can't even do anything now. Meanwhile, I literally have videos of things like I'm breathing in toxic fumes as we speak. As we speak, there is something that every single medical professional agrees is toxic. Anybody who has any common sense and happens to be a doctor and has watched the videos and seen the pictures and has any common sense knows that that's deadly stuff. Even, I mean, you can't look at those without getting sick. You can't even look at this mold without getting sick. Every single person I've showed it to has said that will kill you, that will kill you, that will kill you. And if you don't believe me, you can come join me in this fun house. We're just like the 3 people have stayed here within a year or two have got incredibly sick and have had to open the windows so they don't get hospitalized or so they can move their bodies. If we close the windows, we get incredibly sick to the point where we can't move our bodies, we can't breathe, our hearts beat weird, and we get dizzy, falling down, and we can't think because there's no oxygen going to our brain. When we open the windows or go to another apartment or go outside, it's better. If we sleep at a friend's apartment, it doesn't happen. We come back home, close the windows, it happens all over again. We open the windows, it gets a little better, but depending on how open they are, depends on how sick we get. This has been going on for 8 years. The doctors have all the proof and all the evidence they need. They said that they can't even give me an inhaler. They can't even give me stuff for the rashes. I said, hey, doc, well, if you can't treat me for the mold, can you at least give me something for the rashes from the mold, or an inhaler for the breathing for the mold, or something like that? She told me she doesn't do that. She doesn't do creams for rashes or anything like that. Okay. Well, can you give me a wheelchair order? Seeing as I had a crawl here and you see how bad I am, and I've been doing this for months, and everybody keeps on making fun of me, and now it's affecting my mental health because I've had to crawl onto the bus and I can't do things for myself. I'm cooking my food on the goddamn floor. I'm having to crawl to get to the bathroom halfway. I get halfway, I have to stop. If the chair isn't there, then I have to crawl. I squat and I can't get back up. This has been going on for way too long. You've seen it. My customers have seen it. My bosses have seen it. And I leave as soon as it hits me. As soon as I start squatting, falling, and not being able to reach, I have to leave. Because the first time around, I ended up getting seriously hurt. I fell twice thanks to my doctor. My doctor would not give me the forms I needed to leave work. Not only that, the forms she's trying to give me right now, my work has no clue about. I just called them. They said that my work does not issue a short-term disability paper. Yet I have been told by my primary care specifically, and if I need proof of this, I can get it. I make sure I got proof of my whole life. I mean, my whole life is like a TV show recorded because I just get lied about so often as a child, I'm scared. When a doctor tells you something and then lies about it later, that scares the living shit out of me. So I make sure I have proof of what I'm doing. I always make sure I know exactly what I'm doing. That way, if a doctor lies later, or if a friend lies later, or if a boss lies later, or if somebody lies later, I can say, oh, I guess I'm mistaken. Let me go and check. Hey, you're a lying piece of shit. I have you telling me something right here. I have